putting the spotlight on local businesses in the capital city. This is 402 Business Insider with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish on 1499.3 KLIN.
And you're listening to the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing with Transformation Marketing. Gary Tharnish with Home Design Real Estate Group. How you doing today?
I'm doing really good.
Yeah.
Yep. I've seen enough summers in my life that things are just good now.
Are you checking out? Are
yep,
you
well,
like
I just send
cashing
stuff
it in?
to spam automatically or junk. I only think about the stuff I need to. And yeah, it may not be really wonderful for those around me every day, but it's like, was that important? Oh, like I have to read the whole document?
It wasn't important to me. That's all that matters.
I'm having a selfishly good time. How about you, Travis?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing fantastic. Just loving life. Just absolutely loving life. And honestly, every day goes by. We started this show as a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. And when we obviously haven't been on KLN all that time.
Yeah.
But after a while, it was starting to be a grind. And 9 a.m. on a Saturday was when the show used to be. And it was like, I know. I am having so much fun now.
I am too.
And I love it. I love being on KLIN. I love the station. Yeah. And for some reason, I just feel like we're hitting a stride and things are going well. And I'm loving life, man.
What you think expands. And I fully think that in spite of ourselves, we're going to succeed.
That's right.
I do.
That's right.
I do.
In spite of ourselves, we will find success. Well, our guest today is Amy Birkholz. You're kind of a co-worker, kind of a thing,
she's
right?
my team lead with Home Design Real Estate Group, and it's actually Amy Hertz. Wait. Cliven. When I first met her name is Dutch.
That's real?
Yes, it's Clivenhoven Birkholz. It's her actual name, right? Did I get it right? Clivenhoven Birkholz?
There's no L. It's Clivenhoven.
Clivenhoven. There's no L. See, I still mess it up.
Do you have a nameplate on your desk that's like...
it's two alphabets.
Amy, this will date me, but Amy Broken Typewriter maybe was said when I was in school. Like it just looked like you
it does.
type.
I mean, I remember she was very nice to come up and talk to me when I first started as a realtor, and her mom, Nelda, I'd known for years. So I kept looking at her name going, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce this at all. And then she pronounced it, and I go, I still have no idea how to pronounce this name at all. So I just messed it up on purpose like I just did because it was like I could never get it right. Now I still don't get it right because I add an L. Anyway,
that whole thing kind of reminds me, did you guys watch The Golden Girls?
Yes.
There was always the Horgan Florgan, when Rose Island would have the thing, right? Exactly. That's what that sounds like.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It's hilarious.
The amount of
anyway, welcome, Amy.
Thank you. There were a lot of fun nicknames that came from that.
I'll bet.
Well, this first segment is sponsored by the Berry Law Firm and Wyuka Cemetery. And our first segment, as always, business lessons in the news. So we're going to talk a little bit about just kind of an interesting article that I read. It was about AI. And is your job safe from AI? Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Right.
AI does not seem all that intelligent to me. It's just artificial. You can tell.
Well, you have it.
Well, no,
artificial
I don't have any intelligence. I'm artificial. That's it. Yeah, there's no intelligence at all.
So, yeah, there's so much about it. There's things I like and don't like about it. So, first off, let's be realistic. It's been around for 20 years or more. It's just they finally let it out of the Pandora's box, right? And all the fear that my job's going to be taken away and this is going to be that and so on and so forth. So you will never lose personal touch. It's always going to be something that one-on-one. I'm talking to you right now, Travis. We're talking to Amy. You can't replace that with any type of artificial intelligence.
And it's so funny you say that because radio host is actually on this list that it's in danger of. I mean, is somebody going to come in and screw up a radio show like we do?
No way. Exactly. There's no edutainment. There's no edutainment. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I was recording an ad here at the station the other day, and Austin, the guy that does it, goes, hey, if you want, we can just kind of record your voice a little bit, just tap talking and stuff. And if you ever have a quick ad you want to put on, like there's an open house you're going to have this weekend and you can't get in here, just send us the text and we'll put it into AI and it will sound just like you on the radio. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
It's nuts.
That's a little bit scary.
It's terrifying, especially in the political climate that we're in, where, I mean,
is what you're watching real.
Yeah, that's just it.
Well, I was talking to David before we went on the air, and said I saw a reel recently that was Brad Pitt talking about something. I don't even remember what he was talking about, but I'm like, is that him or not him? And it wasn't him. I mean, it was his face, but it's just strange. Amy, you use ChatGPT a little or no?
Well, a lot of agents do for remarks, marketing and such, but I find that I edit so much because it's they all start to, anytime you see something that says nestled, they use ChatGPT. There's so many keywords that keep repeating, and it becomes just almost like white noise. Like you just rule it out. It's not effective anymore. So we write our own.
So like instead of nestled in a cul-de-sac, in a nice quiet cul-de-sac, it's like, it's in a circle and a couple of neighbors suck, but the house is really nice. Then oh, Carrie wrote it.
Yeah. We try to be more realistic, see through the noise.
Well, and here's what killed me about this particular article when it said who is safe and who is not safe. And when I got to the bottom of it, I went, I wonder if this article was written by AI.
Oh, of course it
right?
was.
Because when you go through, here are the 10 safest jobs according to AI. Dredge operators. Okay, I guess maybe. All right. I mean, we don't think about that stuff, but I grew up on Lake Erie, so I know there's a lot of dredge operators. Not many, but there are. I'm like, okay,
not big in Lincoln.
Bridge and lock tenders. That is somebody who's, like you have the drawbridges and stuff. I'm like,
I don't know.
Okay, well, this is a growing group. We're talking
coding.
Tens of people are going to be out of business here. Water treatment plant operators, foundry mold core makers, rail track laying and maintenance equipment operators, pile driver operators.
What?
Like, okay.
No, they'll be replaced by robots.
Operators. I mean, motorboat operators.
Well, I think that I'm seeing a connection that robots don't like water.
Right. I'm sitting here going,
no kidding. Exactly. There's the common denominator.
Yeah.
AI does not like water.
So, houseboats are fine for selling. I
don't know.
We're still safe.
I don't know. I keep sitting here going, you would think it would share like entire industries.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's
specific jobs.
Right. Because, those bridge operators. Because there's so many drawbridges, especially in Lincoln.
Yes.
I mean, I'm tired.
All over the place.
Yeah. I'm tired of these things.
They're going to start putting them over the roundabouts.
Don't say that. They might actually do it. Instead of two double-decker, 2-story roundabouts, we'll do drawbridges and roundabouts. We're gonna, if that actually happens, I'm telling you. AI, and one of the people on the list was real estate agents, and I thought, there's no way. There is no way.
I mean,
I could see parts of it.
But I also think that it depends on your priorities when you're listing or when you're buying, that you would want, if you're wanting somebody to strategize, AI might be pretty successful at that. I don't know how well it would negotiate on your behalf, or get more into your personal situation, what the best situation is for you. But when it comes to, like, not that you've asked what we do yet, but
we'll get there.
Some of the design or the tips on how to, solve how to present the house, the marketing, those things, I don't think are as black and white or AI.
Well, it's just like Zillow can give you a Zestimate on your house, but they certainly haven't had eyes on your house.
Yeah, and they're right
taking
every
algorithms from computers and everything,
which
is basically what AI is doing. Is AI more than like a Zillow estimate or somebody taking all these algorithms of what's been sold here and there and coming up with the price? Yes, AI can be a little more involved, right? I mean, you can get a subscription to AI, and after you talk to it for a while, it kind of gets to know you, right? It just depends how much you want out of your AI.
Yeah.
Maybe I am scared now.
No, I don't think so, because, I
think there's a human component that would always be missing.
Yeah,
that people really want. They want somebody to understand their situation, solve their problems, compassion.
And there's that human element, because I used to be, I was a cargo pilot forever ago, right? And we've had remote control planes. I mean, jet airliners that can be controlled by remote. They were using them for crashes and whatnot in the 70s. And they go, oh, you want to get out of aviation because it's all going to be controlled by people on the ground. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Never.
It can be. But here's the deal. When I step on an airplane, I want to know that there's two guys up front that have just as much vested interest in this flight landing safely in Chicago or Cleveland or wherever I'm going, right? As I do.
And hopefully one of them has gray hair.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You don't need, AI to go make a mistake and go, oh, my bad. We'll try it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, Travis is dead.
We're experiencing unexpected turbulence. We're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, that's
Our
right.
algorithms are working on it, and we may get back to you before he dies. So.
Yes, the system crashed, and we hope that we'll get it back together before we run out of fuel.
Yeah.
And back on the Zillow thing, the Zillow is a perfect example of AI, right? Putting together rough estimates of houses. Yeah. And I remember, because I occasionally buy houses that are not for sale yet, and somebody will go, well, Zillow says my house is worth $200,000. Yeah, well, Zillow doesn't realize that half of your roof is gone.
Right. Well, and we use tools that use all the algorithms from the computer as well. But then when we do comps, we're calling realtors to find out what did you see in the house. We're going to look at the house if we can, at least look at curb appeal, all those different things that computers never going to be able to do.
Yeah, so many variables. And I've seen estimates be for the same home, same builder, just a couple blocks away, be as much as $100,000 different from one another.
Right.
And maybe it didn't know that the basement was finished. I mean, there's a lot of variables that we take into consideration.
I had the house recently sell for $379. This estimate was $311.
Right. Yep. And the market conditions.
And I wonder if it's the same technology that they use to figure out our property taxes.
No.
Probably.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Lancaster County says this is an $8 million property. Wait a minute. It's just a shed. That's all right. Pay your taxes. That's a whole nother show, isn't it?
Yes.
Are you going to invite them on assessors on?
I would. That would be must listen.
We try
radio.
to stay out of politics and religion.
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. Because we torpedo that show. I promise you that.
How to lose friends and influence both at the same time.
How to get your radio show handed over to AI.
Although I know David's been wanting to use that shut off button since we started. I just mute Gary right here. Boom. Now we're safe.
Well, we got a break coming up here, so we're going to run to that real quick. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, talking with Amy. I'm not even going to to try it. It's just Amy
Birkholz.
Yeah, or Amy B.
Amy B.
Birkholz.
Or Queen Amy.
I like Queen Amy.
Queen Amy.
Very good. And we're going to talk a lot about real estate when we come back from this break. And we'll be back right after this.
KLIN.
Welcome back to the 402 Business Insider. Welcome. If you're just joining us, if you stayed through the break, here we are on the other end. And today, this segment sponsored by the Cabin Virtual Indoor Golf, which is Travis's place, right? Yeah. Which is amazing. We talked about that the other day, but give us a little quick.
Yeah, it's a golf simulator. AI. There we go. AI is taking over your job. No, it's
not that good.
It's
AI can have it.
This place is so different. It is. The simulator is, it tilts, it moves, it will record your exact lie. So it'll tilt 15 degrees left and right. It auto feeds golf balls, and it's totally private. So if you have an app, you have the app on your phone, you schedule your time off, you bring your friends, you bring your own beer, you lock it up in your liquor locker, whatever you want. It's a totally private man cave. Just for you. All you have to do is be a member.
It's like so much fun. Also, Western National Bank. We had Todd Calfee in here a couple episodes ago, which makes me want to remind you that we're on YouTube and podcast, 402 Business Insider. You can find previous shows. Todd's with Western National Bank was a good one. Yeah. This one with Amy is going to be awesome to listen to in the future as well. And then also the UPS stores. They certainly do a lot more than what you would just think UPS
you think you're
does.
Shipping. It's not.
It's so much.
It's not even close.
So much more. My favorite is Amazon returns. They make it so easy.
They do, but for me, I love being able to just, if I need business cards, they have it on file. You call, you print. Because when our show went from 60 minutes to 90 minutes, I called up and go, "Hey, we're on at 10:30 now, not 11. Can you reprint us a bunch of cards?" Boom. Next day, there it was. So,
well, I want to introduce our guest today. A very close personal friend of mine, but also my team lead at Home Design Real Estate Group, which is one of the sponsors of this show. That's Amy's little thing, she started Home Design Real Estate Group. So we're going to get deep into that, why you started it and so on and so forth. But before we do that, oh, by the way, her name is Amy Birkholz. I can't even do it right when I want to do it right. It's Amy Alphabet. And anyway, Amy, we talked about this a little earlier today when you were a wee bit nervous about being on the show, but it's just conversation. But we do want to know about you. Our idea is to help people. When people sometimes think about going into business, they kind of feel like, oh, I can't do that, or maybe I won't, or whatever. So we kind of want to know, how did you end up being a real estate agent? I know your mom was a real estate agent. I did flowers with her starting in 1986 when she had things going on. But how did you end up in real estate?
This is why I was nervous about being on the show, because I'm a rambler. I'm not good at being concise.
Oh,
we'll cut you off.
Have you ever listened to the show? That's all we do is ramble.
I would say the short version is I grew up around 4 very hardworking parents, entrepreneurs, real estate builder, and they were, rushing out the door at 6 a.m. and getting home maybe in time for dinner, and then working more. And I just didn't feel that that's what I wanted for my life. I was the only, maybe not super fast paced, I don't know, you know me now, you see how much I work. So it transformed obviously at some point, but, I thought I'm more of an artist and creative. And so, wanted to just be instantly rich by some great idea I had. Right.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for
We've all been there, done that.
Bitcoin, maybe a little too late, but but anyway, so, fast forward to, having a family. And, I have a sign in my office that says my mom was right about everything. That could be the answer to every question you give me, probably.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens after midnight.
Yep.
Whatever. All those things.
I always said my dad, when I was about 14 or 15, my dad got into the stupid stage in life. I mean, he became the biggest idiot you've ever heard of. He grew out of it when I was about 21 or 22.
After you paid a few electric bills.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
I'm like,
yep.
Hey, this guy wasn't such an idiot after all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom being a very successful real estate agent and always trying to pull me in, you'd be great at this. No, I was a stay-at-home mom. Well, there were some health issues my husband faced, so I went to work with my mom part-time.
Yeah, well, they were major health issues, so you needed to work, right?
Yeah,
at that time.
And so she, her assistant was going to become a nurse, and I think she was also doing like some maternity leave. So they're like, let's train Amy to do this, and I ended up being good at real estate, which didn't surprise anybody, but I was the worst, most terrible assistant. So she just put up with me for a very long time. I was so bad at it. And then, so then my daughter says it best, if you wrap it all in a little bow here, that I found a way to make, something that I'm good at that helps pay the bills, creative with the design and the staging. And it just pulls it all together for me.
So that's something I kind of want to talk about. So basically, what is Home Design Real Estate Group? When I mention it all time, right? Because I'm sponsoring the show and so on and so forth. But one of the things I loved about joining a team, because remember when I did a show, I don't know, you'll hear it at some point. I did a show talked about what on and get away from employees. It's just me, and it still is kind of just me. I'm going to get out. I'm on a team, but if I don't work it, it isn't like Amy just gives me business, right? But what I liked about the idea of Home Design Real Estate Group, and Amy can address it more than I'm going to be good at, but we have 4 core icons, 4 core things. We help people buy a home. We help people sell a home. We can help people build a home, and we stage. So staging is one of the things that really separates us a lot. One of the main things I think that separates us out from other groups and other teams and other real estate agents in general. And Amy, you can address it better, but I'm just going to go to the house that just recently sold on Holder Street that you had. So basically she, is going to list a pig and needs a lot of stuff, so do you do that? Do you not do that? Do you want to sell the house as is? Are you going to fix it up? If you don't fix it up, you're leaving money on the table. Is that an okay thing? So Amy, talk a little bit about what the Home Design Real Estate Group process is using that house. which by the way, went on the market overnight, got 3 offers and sold the next morning in this market where we're not seeing a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just goes through all of the years of knowing what turns buyers off, by working with buyers, by working closely with agents. They're asking, why isn't this house selling? We have agent tour. There's all these things that we just kind of built up this knowledge base of what is off-putting, what turns, the buyers away, what makes them think that they're going to have to invest a ton of money in this house. And it truly isn't. I always joke around that, I haven't seen any of these houses just crumble and like disintegrate, but everybody always feels like that's what this house is going to do.
Right.
Like, did you see that basement? Did you see that ceiling? And it's like every problem is solvable. And it's the dollar amount, it's the process, it's the liquidity of their cash. If they're spending all their money to kind of avoid PMI, then they're not going to have that $20,000 to do XYZ. So it's not like the house can't sell for market value. It's that it won't. So we just come in with we have our subcontractors that we trust that give us some phenomenal deals. They've learned the details that matter to us that, so they don't have to keep coming back. So they're already asking me questions ahead of time. You're going to want me to do this, aren't you? Yes. So just include that, and
it matters who says it.
All those and all of those details really matter because even if you have this beautiful home, and we see it all the time, even with some flippers that maybe kind of omit some things they think, don't matter. But when you show those houses, my buyers immediately go, I don't want this house. You're like, oh, but it has so many nice features. Well, I saw this, and I know that means that they skipped a lot of important steps, So it's the inference of some of those things that they read into that really matter. And that's why we really work hard. And my biggest priority for a seller is to protect their equity. I have a lot of clients that are going into independent living and they need every penny they can get, and taking $75,000 less for that house because they didn't want to change the carpet and remove the wallpaper it's just not the language I speak. I just won't let that happen to them. So we help with that.
And that's something we talk a lot about it on this show, is the importance of having somebody who is an absolute professional, because I swear everybody's got a cousin, I call Uncle Skippy. Uncle Skippy's got his real estate license. But here's the thing, they're not professionals. And I think that's one thing that kind of frustrates me about the industry is, if you got the money, we got the beer. Here, come get your license, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't, in my opinion, shouldn't be that way, because people can lose a lot of equity because flippers will take your equity quick if they don't know what they're doing. They scare me to death. If you get somebody who, my daughter bought a house, overpaid for it. It was frustrating, but it was a lesson learned. Luckily, it wasn't a massive amount of money.
Right.
But again, it was not a professional real estate agent that she was working with. It was somebody who did it part-time.
Yeah. And everybody's parent is a home inspector. I mean, you run into all of that. Something I'm going to add on to what you talked a little bit about, Amy, that I've learned from you is sell a house through the vision of a buyer and through the eyes of a buyer, not you as a seller. That can make all the difference in the world. And I remember the one time you talked to me, and I use it all the time when I'm doing my buyers or sellers consultations, both, is that you drive up to the house first off. That impression matters, right? If there's weeds in the yard, lawn's not mowed, all those little things, the siding hasn't been washed in forever and it's dirty. Instantly, I see dirt. I see work, something that needs to be done, right? Then I walk up to the house and the screen door doesn't quite close tight, and the threshold down below hasn't been painted. It's kind of rotting out a little bit. What am I going to do the minute I enter the house? What am I going to be looking for? I'm going to be looking for more problems and more things, because I've already decided. My subconscious already said this house is crap, right? So I search for all of that. What we do in our group is we go, okay, let's assess all of these things now. Like Amy said, the things that are going to put people off, right? On buying a house. People want to buy a nice house. Isn't always going to cost a lot. That's the thing. It's going to maybe be some sweat equity involved. But you can eliminate those things. So when they walk through the front door, they're going to look for everything else nice in the house.
Yeah.
Right. And sadly, most sellers think that's going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and it could be done for much less. One thing I always caution my sellers, and I learned this from you too, is don't do anything on your house until you consult with us, because you want to do the stuff that's going to make the bang for the buck big, not the reverse. I remember asking you one time on a house I had on Tucson Street, Amy, and I said, oh, this carpet's got to be replaced. It's horrible. And I remember I was new on the team. Do you remember this? And she said, well, are you sure? And I'm kind of like, well, yeah. I mean, I think the carpet sucks. I'm sure Travis or David, if they're looking at buying the house, is going to think it sucks. She goes, let me go over there with you. So she comes over. We never replaced the carpet, but we did 12 other little things, and the house sold right away. And it was like, oh, so spending your money wise is important too.
Just repair is always number one. Cleaning, that kind of thing.
That's the easiest thing you can do, because most people can't look past it. I've got more questions, but we're coming up on a break, so let's run to that real quick. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, talking with Amy Birkholz from Home Design Real Estate Group, and we will be back right after this.
93 KLIN.
And you're back on the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're talking with Amy Birkholz from Home Design Real Estate Group. And this segment is brought to us by Complete Family Dermatology and Mendoza Family Insurance. Got to get those guys on here real soon. This segment is 5 takeaways. These are 5 things that we are going to get some information. You can apply it to your business today, tomorrow, Monday morning. So just some inside information, and it's brought to us by Nebraska Farmers Network. Absolutely love what these guys are doing. They are keeping Nebraska farms Nebraska owned. Check them out, nebraskafarmersnetwork.com. All right, 5 takeaways. So this is, Amy, basically what we do is we just kind of take quick questions and just dive. Let's just dive right into it. You'll see what it is when I ask you the question. Don't look so nervous.
Okay.
Let's talk about market timing. Everybody thinks buying and selling a house is like buying and selling stock or gold or whatever else. Can you time the market? What do people need to start looking for when it comes to like inventory? Is there a way to time the market in real estate?
There's definitely a lot of strategy involved in that, but most of the time, depending on the seller's need, I'm not going to tell them, hey, leave the house vacant for 6 months. We're going to wait till March, which a lot of people really firmly believe that. We sell houses all times of the year, but it's really just about that. Are you really ready and prepared and stacking up against your competition? Those houses always sell. I sold a big high-end house on the Knolls earlier this year, and it was January 3rd when we went under contract. So, it's not your most ideal time, but
Well, the house was presented to the market in the best possible way, which makes all the difference, right? So if you're walking in as a buyer, it's hard to find anything you can reject. If you go out and look at all the other competition in that price range at that time of year, there were problems. There were things that weren't done. This has just been renovated, really not. I mean, it made all the difference. So all those things make a great big difference. Market timing. Here's something I will share. I just talked to a gentleman today who said, well, when do you think the best time to sell our house is? I go, well, when you're ready. He goes, no, I mean, like with the market and everything, when's the best time to sell? I go, you're going to buy, right? He goes, yeah. I go, why aren't you asking me when the best time to buy is? Well, yeah. When's the best time to buy? When it's not the best time to sell. I go, so, right? I mean, it's a give and take. So like you were hitting, it just depends so much on the person, what they're doing, what their needs are. But market trends. Yeah. I mean, I want to when I'm doing my consultations, as I'm sure Amy does, you're going to address those issues during the consultation for sure. Like this is what the market's doing right now. So this is are you ready to sell? What's going to go on with your house in order to get it to sell and prepare it for the market, so on and so forth. I love saying things like, do you want me to price the house with this color on the walls? Oh God, no, we've been wanting to paint forever. This color's horrible. Okay. So you want to change the color of the wall. Okay, great. So if they say it, right. If you can get them to say it.
I would say too, though, in statistically, there's less houses on the market in the winter. So your competition is not as great, and a lot of times they're just kind of left over, being passed over, and buyers aren't enthusiastic about them. So if they feel that urgency of this perfect house just popped up, it doesn't matter what time of year. If they're ready to buy and they're, taking a job in Lincoln or whatever their motivation is, it just works.
Well, and trying to time a market, I think it's always a bad idea. Because
magic 8 ball.
It's going to bite you. Yeah, I just mentioned my daughter had overpaid for a house a little bit, but you know what? It was 3 years ago. And she's right side up.
She's absorbed it now.
Yeah, it's gone. So would she love to have the house 10 grand less? I'm sure. But at the same time, she's got that back in equity.
Right.
So
and that's what we were telling our buyers back then when they're like, I don't want to compete. Well, if you don't compete, then you're not really a homeowner growing the equity. You're still paying rent. And that's not serving you better. So,
and do you guys coach up your buyers as far as like interest rates? Because I remember I would have overpaid looking back. I didn't, but looking back, I would have overpaid for a house pretty good, especially at 2.5, 2.75. I mean, you can afford to way overpay for a house.
Right.
I coach them depending on their situation because every situation is different.
But we also didn't know that rates were going to, kind of go up and then stay there because it just kind of went from this nice thing that was happening to, oh, you can't get anything under 5 anymore, and it just kind of stayed there and went up more.
Now it's like 8, 7.5.
Right.
Well,
it's coming down a little bit.
It's coming down.
Yeah.
I mean, I always coach people too that, you're married to your mortgage, right? You're going to take out a 15-year, 30-year mortgage. You're married to that. You're not married to your interest rate.
No.
You can always refinance. So that's a thing too. But where it does make a difference is at 2.5%, you can buy, maybe you're going to qualify for a $400,000 home. At 7% interest rate, it's going to be a $320,000 home. Please don't anybody hold me to the math because I don't really know that math. And I don't like math. I'm just plucking numbers. But the point being, you're going to buy you're going to be able to afford less of a house at a higher rate. So, you coach to those things. I do anyway.
But you're still better off than the interest, or 100% interest is what they say renting.
Yep.
So one thing you mentioned is there's a lot less houses on the market, and that's in general. That's not, less in the winter, more in the summer, but overall, there's a lot less houses on the market right now. Is there any tips or strategies to?
It started to change, didn't it?
Well, statistically, you would want for Lincoln, 300,000 population, 88,000 homes or 89,000 homes. You want to have about 2,500 to 3,000 on the market at any point in time for it to be an even market, buyer seller market even. When I first started, right, so 2001, I call it crazy time, real low interest rates. At our sales meetings, there would be 195 homes, 200 homes. There were very few. Lately, it's been 800 and some, 900 and some. So overall, statistically, it's getting better. But the average from decades ago, what I understand, even a decade ago or so on and so forth, is more around 2. In Lincoln, you'd want to have 2,000 to 3,000 homes on the market for it to kind of be an even market, not buyer or seller. Is that correct?
Well, I'm thinking more in absorption rates. Like, it doesn't really matter how many houses are on the market. How quickly are they being absorbed? That's what we really, Gary's, I'm in awe of how many of those numbers you're remembering because I just,
he's just making them up.
I'm like, absorption rates are what we watch because if let's just say really simply 10 houses came on the market yesterday, but 5 of them are under contract, then it doesn't really matter how many houses, it's how quick are they selling. And, what do we actually have to choose from when you're representing a buyer, and how quick do they have to react and all of that.
And is turnover pretty quick right now?
We're seeing a lot of houses stick around, seeing more price reductions, but that's also very typical for this time of year. People not wanting, old school real estate agents where I grew up in this business would say, if you didn't have your house sold by maybe October, you were going to be holding on to it till probably February or March. Probably.
And what's kind of the turnover right now, roughly? Is it weeks? Is it months?
By price point.
Yeah,
so like
by price point.
Yep.
But so there was a gentleman on this radio station on another show a few weeks ago, highly regarded in the real estate industry, very intelligent, and he was giving the statistic that comes out, locally, and it was I think he was saying all price ranges together it's about 9 days. But the problem with that now is that you can term and relist. So I list a house with somebody and it doesn't sell for all. We can just terminate the listing and relist it right away, and it shows it as day one. So absorption rates can be really skewed when you have that. So Dan, our CEO, I was talking with him, and he goes, when I extrapolate that out and really look at, okay, without the term of the relist, it's about 28 days. Now I talked to Dan 3 weeks ago when he told me that.
I think that's got to be by price point though, because we're still seeing several, higher end homes, things like that. That's, but yeah, that number surprises me actually.
Higher end homes, can be, I mean, $1 million plus. You can be on the market,
A year.
6 to a year and a half now, somewhere in there.
Wow.
See, I think the last time I sold a home, which was in 2001, 2002, it was on for like 9 months.
Yeah. And
it was a very high-end
Yeah.
home at 14th and Rose
Right.
Street. And we sold it for 90 grand. So
that is kind of what the normal
different.
market. So a normal market, whatever that is really, 6 months. That's the breaking point between buyer and seller. What's an even market? That's about the average amount of time from at least what they used to say. So.
Very interesting.
And everything got skewed with 2.5% interest rates. I
It
mean, statistically, you just have to almost remove that whole 5-6 year period.
Everyone's
from
expectations
the
just.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
crazy.
it's going to make it more long term because you think of like now I'm an empty nester. And I mean, we have a pretty decent sized house.
You want to
It's
sell it,
3.
don't you?
I don't. Not. I'm at 2 7/8. I'm like, I'm not selling this
kidding.
puppy dog.
I'm
No
gonna-
way.
They'll have to wheelbarrow me up those stairs, but I'm not
it's-
leaving my
I'm
interest
gonna
rate.
get one of those little. Remember those little, those little things that slid you up the
Yes.
stairs.
They
still have
have them. Now
But-
they have the little tube elevators.
We should
Oh.
invest in that.
Like from the bank.
It's
Type two.
just like from the bank, only it's for a person. Exactly.
How
You
fast?
just
Like
get in
Star
it.
Trek.
It's not as fast as the tubes in the bank. It depends on how much if you put coins or dollar bills. For you and I, Travis, it might go a
Yes,
little bit
it
slower
may
than
take
David.
a while.
David would probably just go whoop.
That's right.
He might even
It'd
spit
be
out the roof.
through the roof, right?
But for me, I mean, a few more pounds, I might go a little slower. But they do. They look just like the tube thing at the
That's
bank. only
crazy.
It's your elevator.
This might be a
Um,
good idea to
so-
invest in if you think about it. People protecting their interest rates, but really shouldn't be doing stairs. I'm thinking this is a good stock tip.
I am not. It's funny because
So
I would be willing to sell my house. I am not willing to sell my mortgage. I'm really not.
right,
Because-
you're married to it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really
and you
am.
like that
I
marriage.
am more
Yeah.
in my mortgage than I am my
There's
house.
so many people that are, and there's a lot of conversations that you can have around that because I'll just use my own house as an example. We had lived in it for 18 years, loved the neighborhood, raised our kids there. But we had done everything that would catapult that house to a higher price point. Like there was nothing left to do. We were redoing things we redid already. So we moved into something more customized for us as empty nesters that we built, and it new construction will increase in its value much faster than our old house. So like maybe that interest rate was more attractive, but the equity and potential for this house that we're in now is, it sucks that right up and makes it better.
That's interesting because I actually saw, I was going to bring this article in and I'm going to butcher it. We'll have to look because I know we have a break coming up here real quick. But there was something about older homes are now starting to become more not valuable, but appreciate faster
Absolutely.
than new construction.
I don't know if they appreciate faster. It depends, because if you find an old home like you were talking about before, where you're wearing your gas mask,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you're
That's
like,
those are the
you
ones
get
I
those
buy.
little gems. Absolutely. Absolutely. But some of these that have already been lived in, loved, remodeled, I mean, they've kind of reached the pinnacle of where that neighborhood and remodeled homes in that neighborhood could be. Now, like the country club, maybe there isn't really a cap,
Right.
but you're always going to have the smaller bathroom that used to be a broom closet. I mean, this is legitimate,
yeah.
like
Oh,
you
yeah, I know
can't,
that.
some people that are really tall can't sit down. So just saying, but like, there's a limit to where they will, modify their lifestyle for $2 million.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a break coming up here. So that is 5 Takeaways, sponsored by Nebraska Farmers Network. Go check them out. NebraskaFarmersNetwork.com. Keeping Nebraska farms, Nebraska owned. Absolutely love those guys. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, you're listening to the 402 Business Insider, talking with Amy Birkholz, and we will be back right after this break. Amy Birkholz from Home Design Real Estate Group. And this segment is actually brought to us by, I shuffled it, and the mouth gets going faster than what I'm supposed to. And this segment is brought to us by James Arthur Vineyards, Integrated Behavioral Health Services, and Lincoln Coin and Bullion. This segment, we always do something called Unexpected Impact. It's something that is unexpected that happened to your business, that it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. And we were kind of talking a little bit about this during the break, and it was about building a team. And one question that I had was, what's the importance of a team? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Do I, as a buyer, need a team? As a seller, need a team? What do I get from a team? Tell us about building a team and what kind of impact that had on your business.
Well, I should start by saying that everybody that I know, love, and respect told me not to do it. So I don't know what that says about me or them, but it was just something I was so passionate about in 2020. We were conceptualizing it, but my husband would, and probably Gary would say, it's probably just because we had so much staging inventory that Amy by herself would never have that many houses to stage. He says that I have a staging business to hide my shopping problems, but it's my husband's been saying it for a long time too. But really, it was just noticing the impact that we were making, whether it be a parade house or, we kind of had like a little fan club, and it was really fun. It's the creative outlet of all of this, taking something that a house has that people are like, what the heck is that? And making it have a purpose, and that totally changes how that house is presented and sells, or accentuating features that are kind of just overlooked, undervalued. And so just knowing that we could do this, but having a bigger impact, because I'm just one person. And so we don't do leads, and we don't share, Gary takes buyers and I take sellers. I mean, we don't do that. We're a team of just really good, collaborative, strategic minded, creative, problem solving agents that like to work together. I don't really, looking back on it now, I feel like I wouldn't want to be doing this on my own. I'm a lot of agents, we do have friends. We talk to each other. Real estate agents are amazing people that care about their community. Like, I didn't need to have a team to have that, but we're all vested in one another and our mission. And we can spread this gift that we have to offer by 4 times, not just what I list, but what Gary lists, Shondell, Nelda. And it just made a bigger impact on what we were able to do.
So it's a lot of collaboration then? Is it?
Gosh, it's a lot of everything. So one thing I want to mention really quick, just for our saving our own butts, Home Design Real Estate Group is At Home Real Estate, right? So I was an agent at Home Real Estate, right? So I was like, I don't want to be on a team. I mean, I had a business, I had employees all these years. I'm just like, it's just going to be me. I'll get what I put into it out of it. If there's a problem that was created, it was created by me. If there's something that needs to be solved, I don't need a team. I don't need a team. And then I knew Amy's mom forever from just the business world. And so I can distinctly remember meeting you, and I was like, wow, she's a force, like a good force, like a positive, like
I'm a good witch.
Not like a Darth Vader type thing going on here.
Yes, she's a sandwich. You won't eat, but you have a lot of sand in between your fingers. So anyway, I was like, I like her, and we just talked a little bit. I will say that's one thing about you when I met you is you took the time to ask me, like, how are things going? What are you involved in? Right. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm involved in adult daycare that nobody I would be doing. It was like, there's this stuff coming to me where I'm like, you're 50. What? Like, you didn't know that already? Anyway, so it was a lot. So I'll just tell you real quick, what I got out of the team is that the collaboration is huge. Yes. But also just the learning. I have learned so much from Amy. Like, I can remember having to make a telephone call to a client to give them really bad news. Right. I mean, like bad news. And we're talking about their home and their livelihood. And I'm like, I'm really stuck about whether or not to do it. And having someone else to just go, hey, look, you didn't create this. You didn't make the problem happen. You didn't cause that in their home. You just need to deliver a fact. And that's what it is. But Gary, before you make the phone call to do that, let's come up with a few solutions. I hadn't thought that way. I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to call David and tell him he can never go to Austin, right? As opposed to go, well, if you do these things, you can. So anyway, I'm just teasing the producer here. He wants to move to Austin, which I hope he gets to do someday. But anyway, so the point being that that's the kind of collaboration that I love on the team. And then also being able to go, I just sold a house that should have sold for $311,000 according to all these algorithms and everything that you do that makes sense and work. That we put it was like not even quite $9,000 in that. It sold for $379,000, appraised. People moving in loved it. Why? Because it was nice. We fixed all the little things that became big things, if your mind, if they weren't worked. And the house had been maintained pretty well. But I wouldn't have done that had it not been on the team.
So when one of your team gets a listing, do you all go take a look at it, or a couple of you look at it, or just share info? Hey, take a look at this. This doesn't feel right. What do you think? Is that kind of what
we come up with a plan? Usually it's myself and then my staging assistant, Nicole. And then of course, Gary, Shondell, Nelda have great insight, but they're not always, picking out the carpet or whatever, but but we do like to ask them, what do you think of the neighborhood and this price? And we do collaborate in that respect.
Right.
I would say when I hear Gary talk about what he gets from the team, it is exactly what I value so much about where I started when I was working with my mom in 2007. I wasn't licensed yet. Remember, I was a terrible assistant, but I was surrounded by these amazing agents because she had reached this level of being a realtor that, she was just around the greats, I guess you'd say, like old school, like those really, really great agents that, they survived all the different, like when the rates were 17% or something. Like they have just been through it all. And all of the conversations that I heard, all of the tiny bits of information, and just how they didn't bash other realtors, but they would maybe share stories like, can you believe they did this? Or can you believe it was handled this way? This is so bad, and so I learned from those experiences. And I feel like I got, like 5-year crash course in probably a year. And I've always admired agents like Gary that they're brave. They come into this, they learn the current market and they're trying to navigate it, but they would never have all of those anecdotes or whatever you wouldn't say, just all these solutions, like calling your buyer with bad news or your seller with bad news, but having a couple solutions in mind so that they don't just totally unravel, right. And this is just stuff that you learn after you've been around for a while. So, and that's what's great about a team. We share those things.
So this is kind of like almost what we do on this radio show. It's business owners helping business owners, people who haven't been through certain things, and just seeing it from a different point of view and going,
learning
tried
from
this,
each other.
Or what about this? Or here's how I deliver bad news, or
building each other up, solving problems together.
Being solution-minded always, even
the synergy of so many people being on the same page.
And that would be immensely helpful for somebody buying or selling a home.
Oh,
I mean, selling a home, definitely. But even as a buyer,
definitely.
You see something in a house, kind of, Gary and I were talking because my daughter is looking at moving a house, and Gary and I sat down and go, have you ever moved a house? I'm like, no, I haven't. And so we just kind of sat and we started talking through the pros and cons of it. And so that's essentially what being a team or having a team is like.
Yep.
That's really interesting. And staging a home, you said, okay, we stage homes. Are there that many vacant homes out there that need staging? Because I've known a couple of people who stage homes for a living, and I go, gosh, are there homes out there that are empty?
That's a great question. So when you live in your home, we can still help prepare the home for sale. Usually it involves editing, giving them advice on that, which furniture maybe isn't serving the space very well, too big, or it's, you've got too many pieces in there. So staging is not always a vacant home that you just throw some stuff you bought at Target in, I mean, we're your style. I used to call it, instead of staging, I wanted to call it styling, because I really feel like you're like if you have big hips, you're not going to wear a big wide striped skirt, right, Travis?
I do. No, I do.
Okay.
Oh my God.
But you like to be.
Yes, I'm wearing a big striped skirt right now. That's why I'm sitting down.
Oh my God.
I just think, the pieces you want to accentuate, the things you want to downplay, and it's more styling, just being thoughtful about how you're presenting something.
So if somebody has an ugly chair, you might go, hey,
Well,
you know what? Let's
yep.
get rid of
Well,
that chair.
Amy's taught me a lot in staging. First off, because I own a flower shop, she thought I would be great at this, picking out color and everything. But I will share with you that I am the consummate bohemian and everything you think about bohemian. So I like every color. I mean, yes, I'm totally not. But what I did learn from her was the word ambulatory, right? Mm-hmm. So when someone walks into a home, they want to see there's room for their stuff, there's room to get around, and it's not crowded. So when I'm doing my listing presentation with somebody, they're wanting to sell their house, I ask them, like, why do they want to move? Oh, there's no more room left in this house. Then I look in the living room and go, yeah, because you have 12 pieces of furniture where you should have 3. So then I can talk with them and say, hey, let's move some of this furniture so it looks. Now, the risk you take sometimes is they're like, oh, well, we can still live here. Look at this. Or you fix it up and they're like, I don't want to move now.
This has happened.
It does happen.
Really happens.
But those kind of things, then we're still kind of staging, but instead styling. We're helping them go, we need to present your house. I have one right now that feedback I got. The people want to move because they've grown out of the house. And I'm just thinking, yeah, they had another kid. They need another room. What I didn't think about was, storage. So Amy and I are talking and I'm like, yeah, there isn't a lot of storage in that house. You know, now that I think about it, when you open the one closet door, it is so full that the owner said, should I put a note on here? Be careful when opening door. No, what we should do is empty it into storage. I mean, you learn those things.
Put it in the marketing remarks. Right. We don't have storage.
It's right. Yeah. But anyway, you know, you want to remove those put off things where a buyer is going to go.
Because most people can't get their brains past the fact, that it's piled full of stuff.
Right.
And if your stuff won't fit, my stuff won't fit.
Well, and also remember, Travis, buyers are not like you when you buy a house.
Oh, yeah,
Travis will buy something that it's like, is it really, well, should we really tear it down and it would make more sense? And then he fixes it up and it's like,
this is a castle. Some of the Gary's refused to go into a couple of basements of houses that I've bought.
I did on one.
Yeah.
Because after COVID, my nose.
It was bad. Well, we have another break coming up here. We are talking with Amy Birkholz, Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider. And we will be back with This Needs an Adjustment in the next segment, right after this.
KLIN.
Welcome back to the 402 Business Insider. Thanks for sticking with us through the break. And if you're just coming in on this one, I'm Gary Tharnish with Home Design Real Estate Group at Home Real Estate, and my co-host is Travis Filing with Transformation Marketing. Today we are talking with Amy Birkholz with Home Design Real Estate Group. She's my team lead. She's amazing. And this segment is sponsored by the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce and the Lincoln Airport. I challenge everybody living in Lincoln, if you fly out of Lincoln, if you can do it for $125 or $150 a ticket or less, just because we really need to build up the airport. The impact of the airport on our economy is amazing.
Yes.
We're going to have Rachel come back with the study the university just did. It should be done by now.
Yeah.
I think, and really find out what that impact is. But try to fly from Lincoln if you can. I mean, you're saving the trip up to Omaha. You're saving parking.
Parking
so
is
many
getting
things.
ridiculous in Omaha.
Yeah.
I mean, insane.
Yeah. The covered garage.
I'm thinking about buying a house in Omaha. No, I'm kidding. Just so I can park a car there.
Goodness.
Have you eaten at that restaurant in the Lincoln Airport? Because that's a reason to pay a little bit more. Just so you know.
Have you done the breakfast burrito?
Yeah. There was something else too.
Dynamite.
That was just shocking, like culinary. It wasn't just like, the gas station food or something.
Right.
I love it.
It was like
I love it. Right,
$20 burrito that they just bought at the quick shop or something.
Yeah, that's exactly. The last time I was
so
up in
good.
Omaha, I'm like, I'll bet the sandwich was delicious last month when it was made, but it's not good anymore. You know, but they're still selling it to you.
Oh my
They
Lord.
made it fresh that morning, and I was
Well,
excited.
Amy, this segment is sponsored by Ascend Chiropractic, and it's called This Needs an Adjustment. And so if you physically need an adjustment out there, people, call Ascend Chiropractic. Brian and the staff out there do an amazing job. They are my chiropractor, and they just are fantastic. So same thing happens in a business sometimes. And like with our bodies, sometimes we put off an adjustment too long, and then you need surgery. So in business, if you put off an adjustment when you need it, it can make a situation that much worse. So, and either concept of the team, like, are there times that you made an adjustment, or what do you look for when you're looking for an agents to join the team now? Is it different than you would have looked at it 2 or 3 years ago?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about that.
Do we need to fire Gary?
I actually
we could do it. Get him off the
I
team.
have so many things to say. I would say that originally my concept was get a bunch of Nelda Hunts on there because I don't want to train. I mean, gosh, bless new agents, but there's just so much that is not involved in real estate classes at all. That really is about the business, right? The real estate classes are about legalities and things like that. And, they don't even know maybe how to write an offer. So, and that's not good use of our time. I wanted high producing, really top quality, respected agents. And we were just using the staging and maybe the styling as a tool. So those successful agents don't necessarily need that, but boy, it made their lives easier, and they were on board. But several of them were retiring, and my mom didn't want to join my team, so that was.
But she has now.
Humiliating.
She has now.
But it was for very good reason, and now I see the whole thing clear as day. And again, my mom was right about everything. Always applies. But so we had a variety of different agents, and what I think is most important is that they be really good, high integrity. We don't want to stage a dirty, broken house. So let's fix the dirt in the, so as long as we all have these ideas in mind. Sometimes people call us, will you please help us? And I go over there and it's literally like cobwebby, the floors are damaged. Like, I'm not going to put a rug over that so you can hide it. That's not how we do it. So people that are like-minded, the adjustment was not, was then letting Gary on the team. Just kidding.
But use that button, David. Use that button. Shut her up.
He has so many leadership skills, and he is, he brightens everybody's day. He's amazing. You guys know this, but thank you. But you don't necessarily lead a Gary, right?
Yeah.
And so that was a big adjustment for the team, was just knowing that, hey, I'm a resource. We collaborate, but there isn't a leader. He calls me the team lead, and some team leads put on Facebook, I'm the team lead for this group. It's not about that. We're a collaborative, respectable group. These people have amazing skills. I'm not better than them. We're collaborating. So that's an adjustment, because the world thinks you're the team lead. I'm in charge. I'm not in charge of Gary. And when my mom joined this year, I'm definitely not in charge of her.
Oh, no.
So it's just, maybe they defer to me, like, well, you're really good at that. You go take care of these things. And so I definitely have my niche and they have theirs. And that was a big adjustment.
Yeah. So as a team, I know one adjustment we had was just that there are, you talk about integrity, and it's easy to say, integrity, but the actions speak louder than words. And you have to have these standards that I remember when I first started working for a business. I won't even say the name of the business. I was fresh out of college, but it was kind of like, why did you tell that lady that we lost her ticket? That we lost her order? I go, because we did. No, you never do that. You white lie. You tell them, we'll get it figured out, but you can't let them know that we made. And I was like, oh, okay, white lie. I didn't know what a white lie was. Like, are there levels of sin or whatever it was? I mean, like, okay, whatever. But I'm like, okay, and it's like, that's exactly what we don't want, right? Our standards are that you don't cut the corners, that you don't put the rug over a damaged piece of flooring, that an inspector's going to find anyway, or you don't do those things. Well, there's a level of expectancy of professionalship.
When you move the staging out, and then the buyer's like, oh, we don't want the house anymore.
Yeah, I mean, on the walkthrough 2 days before closing.
I mean, that's just not good sense.
And that's like, but it can get even less noticeable than that in some ways too. But I think now, as our team, we're looking for people that have that already. They have built-in integrity, knowledge of what the real estate business is. They can fill out the forms that are necessary. We're not doing that part, but we can just take what we do well and make it better. Yeah. That's really, we're looking for agents that slide into that.
Make and that was the original vision, right? It was that what we are doing for people, I want to take it times 10. Like, I want to have that big of an impact in the community. And and
that's something a lot of business owners can't get their brains wrapped around. When you bring somebody onto your team, no matter what industry you're in, don't just hire somebody that can do X, Y, Z. Hire somebody that can do stuff that you can't do, because yeah, you're not going to manage them.
Or that you don't want to do.
Yeah, that's just it. You don't want to manage them.
I remember telling Amy one day, I'm like, I'm never going to get that, Amy. I'm never going to get the don't ever let me choose paint for your walls, ever.
He likes orange and purple.
Orange and purple with a touch of green, some lime yellow. You can put green and yellow together.
But not on the wall.
This will make you laugh because Jody and Clark, both my wife, Jody and Clark, they all work together for Gary. And I was helping Clark carry drywall into his basement. And this was, when he lived here in town. And so we're carrying all these supplies in, and Jody comes running downstairs, and she holds up like 5 or 6 color swatches on the wall. And she goes, Clark, what color do you like? And he goes, do you think I really give a crap what color you paint the basement? I thought, oh my God, I love this guy, and I better get out of here before the fists start flying. But it's one of those like, why are you asking me? I am no good at this. This is not my wheelhouse.
And we've decided, Amy and I, the two of us together, have really found, I feel anyway, I don't know if I've ever really verbalized this with you, but have found our niches, what they are, our niche, and what we do well, and everything. And have meshed that together, that I often walk away from our communication on any given thing better, because Amy knows what I need. I know what Amy needs. It's something you work through on a team, but Amy is, whether she'll say it or not, is very good at allowing that to happen. And not everybody can do that.
Yeah, that sounds like, honestly, because I see all the groups and I think, well, what? I don't, but now it makes total sense. Yeah. I mean, wherever you come up short, somebody else is going to come in and help.
We use each other's strengths. I don't know if we want to say somebody's short, but how tall are you?
I'm 7.
Okay,
6'4". I'm bigger than the short guy that was next to me the other day.
We definitely value one another's strengths. And Shondell on our team, she is really good at some high level detail that Gary and I mean, I'm not talking about like seeing that spot on the wall from a mile away. I get that. Or if something's a little crooked, I see it immediately. But I'm talking about like numbers and analyzing, and Nelda is super strong at those things. So yeah, if I have a little question here and there, I know who to ask. And I think it goes all ways between the four of us. So
definitely.
Well, that was This Needs an Adjustment, brought to us by Ascend Chiropractic. Sometimes you just need an adjustment. So go check out ascendchiropracticne.com and get adjusted. This is the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing, Gary Tharmish. We're talking with Amy Birkholz, and we have one more segment, and then we will wrap it up. So we'll be back right after this.
KLIN.
And we're back with the final segment of the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We are talking with Amy Birkholz from Home Design Real Estate Group. And this last segment is brought to us by Sartor Heyman Jewelers and Red Rhino Roofing. Appreciate you guys. So in our last segment here, we talked a little bit about staging, and the point of it is to make a house feel more comfortable. I always remember there's TV shows and whatnot, they always like bake cookies or something like that just to give it that. Is that a real thing? Do people really do that?
Well, they use all their senses when they're buying a home.
Yeah.
And they use their emotions, smell. I mean, you've walked into a house that smells bad. I mean, I would not go into a basement with you because the house smells so bad. So you know that
smells like savings to me.
I mean, my eyes were burning. It was
it.
like all my senses were confused in that house. But
cookies wouldn't help.
Yeah, no, nothing would have that.
Burning cookies might actually help in some of the places that I
would have helped. But hit that, Amy, with staging. Like,
does it help?
A big difference.
Does it really move things along faster?
And is all staging the same?
In the context of what you just told me, I don't think staging would have helped.
No, not on my properties.
Okay.
But generally speaking.
Yeah, definitely. Statistics are all over the place, but all of them agree, whether it sells 90% faster or I read a stat that said 550% more. I don't know. I mean, it's all over the place, but
AI.
Typically,
it's going to replace us all soon.
Yeah.
It does math. But I can just tell you let's just talk about some examples of agents that didn't sell a house, that the house, they're like, oh, we've reduced the price $30,000. We're going to do another price reduction. And I just don't know what to do. Now, typically, I only want to stage for our team members. But when we have enough inventory and there's an agent that I have a good relationship with that's in a bind like that, we'll go help them. And every single time that house sells, and we're picking up that staging again in less than that month, because we like to leave it through the inspections and the appraisal as well. But most staging companies will charge per week after that first month. So we really don't have that kind of setup, but they're respectful and say, anyway. But that is it's very telling, because the house didn't sell. People say, well, the dining room is too small, or there's all these different things, and when we stage it sells.
And a lot of people are looking for that. I would say, like the Christmas morning, I can see the kids running down the stairs, and the stockings are, over the fireplace or whatever it is. That feeling is really what people are buying.
And people want to buy a nice house.
Yeah.
If they have to walk in and try to figure, not you, Travis. But you make them very nice. So you're Abby.
Travis is my Travis is my perfect buyer, because I get these, and I will say my young buyers, like we're talking 20-year-olds, they see past that crap so well. When I talk to them about, well, if we do this and we do this, you'll have $40,000-$50,000 in equity, and you would have only spent $5,000. But that house is sitting and it's not selling. So it's ripe for the picking, whatever you want to say. And so I love working with the Travises.
I told Gary, I go, when you walk into a house and go, who the hell is going to buy this? Travis.
We'll just call him.
Keep him in your
that in our back Travis pocket. In your back pocket.
But then I've shown homes where I'll never forget this conversation. The house was on Pioneers, and the realtor was talking down about Pioneers. She goes, but Gary, it's staged beautifully, so your clients will really love it. We walked into the living room, and a large living room, and there was literally a 4-inch potted plant in the corner, and that was the staging.
The floor
that is
the size of
staging.
The pot.
That's like somebody moved out and forgot something really small. So when Amy stages, because she does the staging, not me, when she does it, the house is ambulatory. In other words, you can really still feel like there's plenty of room for other stuff. You can get around the house comfortably. It's staged in such a way that you walk in and go, okay, this is really nice. It just happens subconsciously. Even you, Travis, would say, oh, this is really nice.
Inviting you to our next house.
And it works. It's small touches everywhere that complement the house and take it from level 5 to level 10. And it makes a difference. I know some of the realtors that she's helped that have had a $700,000 house sitting on the market for way too long. They're like, I don't know what's up with it. Amy comes in and stages it, and it's under contract in a week and closes in 30 days. It just makes a difference. A lot of people are not, visionaries. They can't vision.
Nope.
They can't see the possibilities in a home.
And it's honestly, because I am on the other end of that spectrum, but I do see it the same way, because most people can't go an orange wall, shag carpet. Right. That stuff don't bother me. Hey, dirty drawers on the floor. That's fine with me. That saves me money.
Carpet on the walls. I saw a mosaic of shag. It looked like an old 70s carpet store. On the wall. I mean,
I had to rake when I was in trouble. When I was a kid, I had to rake the shag. You guys remember?
I did too.
The shag carpet?
Yes,
that was punishment. How do you rake the walls? How do you rake the walls?
We had a rake for the living room where you weren't supposed to walk. Yes,
for the shag carpet.
It's amazing.
Oh, we're getting old, aren't we?
I know, I love it.
That's funny. But yeah, those are things that I'd never really thought of that would help move a house along faster.
Yeah, it does.
And
statistics show that it does. And also, real quick, not doing the simulations. A lot of people now, you can do the staging online. You can bring a couch in, you can do whatever. First off, anybody doing that on a listing has to state that it's simulated. But here's the problem with simulation. I've gone into homes and taken buyers in where the staging is simulated. So it's just all done by AI on a computer or whatever. And you walk in and you go, this living room cannot support just a 3-person couch, much the less the L-shaped unit they had in here with 2 coffee tables and 2 recliners, and each with and it's such a huge turnoff.
The scale is off. But also my philosophy for 15 years is don't overpromise and underdeliver. That isn't how you get top dollar at all. So,
one thing, because I own a lot of rentals, the one thing I started putting in for my rentals is the floor plan. A lot of people don't do that, and that blows me away because I don't know if maybe it's a me thing, but I love the visual of going, oh, I see so I have to go, there's a little hallway and there the bathrooms here, the kitchen's
they can't
there,
tell from the pictures.
Yeah, it's so hard to piece
That's
it
a good
together
tool.
in your brain, but again, people are very, very visual.
But they don't really care if you give them the floor plan if it has orange shag carpet.
Yes. No, that's very true.
There's all the pieces work together.
Yes.
So how do people get a hold of you?
Well, we have all the things, you can reach out to us through social media or our website, but really I just like a phone call or a text. I'm like more of a hands-on kind of talk things out person. And I worry a little bit sometimes social media, that's so spammy. You just don't know.
I know.
Yeah. So just Google Amy Birkholz, Gary Thornish.
You can go to the 402insider.com, click on the logo. The logo takes it right to your guys' team page.
Yeah, because we sponsor that. Yeah. There you go. Do that.
So
we have a drop-down menu where you choose which agent you want to reach out to.
Yep.
Very good. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. I was fun.
It wasn't as hard as you thought it was going to be, huh?
No,
it was way harder.
You did good, Amy.
I just don't want to watch it back. That's the thing. We can do it.
Great.
We just don't watch it.
Well, thanks for listening. This is the 402 Business Insider, Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, and we were talking with Amy Birkholz from Home Design Real Estate Group, and we will see you guys next week.